bring this up, man. This is something very interesting that Dr. Umar Johnson actually brought this up. This was so he appeared on The Art of Dialogue. And The Art of Dialogue is basically another kind of wannabe Vlad TV, but I do like some of the interviews. Most of the interviews are about Tupac. He got Tupac's prom date on there. I'm like, come on, Art. God, dog. So Dr. Umar appeared on there, and let me see. I had it up here. Okay, here it is. So Dr. Umar appeared on The Art of Dialogue, and I'm asking the question: did Diddy save hip hop after Pac and Biggie died? Listen to what Dr. Umar had to say about this. This was very interesting. Fair use, by the way.
Puffy Combs literally saved hip hop because at the time, Pac just was murdered, Biggie just was murdered. Hip hop was getting a bad rap in the media. People were saying, "Do we need to shut it down? Is this nothing but death music?" And I saw Puff use his wisdom to kind of pull hip hop from where it was branded as murder music to a more hip hop, which a lot of artists didn't appreciate. He took it from hip hop to hip hop. But
you remember that hip hop he's talking about? You remember that whole shiny suit era? Yep.
Turning it to the pop, it gave it a new image and allowed hip hop to resurface, and he saved it. Puffy Combs will go down in history as helping to save the image of hip hop after the murder of Big and Pac. So now, when I'm hearing all these comments,
okay, so boom, that's what he had to say about that. What y'all think about that? Now to give context to it, you think about it. Pac died in 96, Biggie died in 97. Who was bigger? Who was the superstar that took over completely after Biggie died? Puff Daddy at the time took over. Now, of course, this was until DMX came out, right? In 98. But if you look at it, like Puff Daddy, now Mace was with him too. Bad Boy was, the Locks and everybody was with him too. But Puff Daddy sold millions of records, and he ushered in that shiny suit era. So when he's talking about the image of rap, you got to think. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason why they said that when DMX came in, it was the shiny suit era, and DMX brought it back to the streets. But does Umar have a point? Did Diddy save that image of hip hop? Because, at that time, it was a bad rep for rap because it looked like it was murder going around. The two biggest stars of rap had just got killed right after each other. So the image of hip hop, a lot of people didn't want to touch it back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still had some of the gangster rap that was out, but at that time, Diddy came out and, he put out the Every Breath I Take, Every Move You Make song with Faith Evans and 112. And he was a mega seller. And it became more pop. That's why, again, DMX came in and took that back to the streets because everything had kind of got pop, And I remember LL Cool J put out Something Like a Phenomenon, and you had different people that were leaning towards that route. So does Umar have a point? Did Diddy save it? Now, of course, also Master P was on the rise, but Master P, the year that No Limit had their quote unquote takeover was also 98, and Master P brought a gangster image, but it was also more of a hustler's image. You know what I'm saying? No Limit wasn't necessarily a gangster rap label, but they were a hard hitting label. So Dr. Umar may have a point about that. Is he wrong? Because who was the biggest superstar at that time? Diddy was doing it big at that time. That No Way Out album with what was that song? I was about to say Mind on My Money. I don't know what. More Money, More Problems. More Money, More Problems. That blew up. The song Victory was up there. Mace was hot too because Mace had put out Feels So Good. Was that 97 or 98? I forgot which year that was, but Diddy was up there, man. So did he save face? Like, did he make hip hop feel more safe during that time? Did he save the image of hip hop? So you said, I think it's some truth to it. I just made think the music industry changed. Yep. 2000 was a lot of having fun versus being hard. Yeah, but at that time, DMX came and shifted the game back up to where, more hard hitting stuff could come, So, but Puff Daddy did change it up. I think it's validity to that. Like I don't think that Umar was wrong, because you got to always look. See, you determine where the culture is by whoever is at the top. Kanye was running the game at one point. Drake, of course, ran the game for a long period of time. But the image of rap, Diddy did come with a whole different image at that time, the shiny suit era, so that's true. And then the Hot Boys, with the whole plain tees and the jewelry, that's before the jewelry thing took over. But at that time, I mean, I think Dr. Umar has a point. So y'all let me know, for the future people who are looking in these comments, do you agree with Dr. Umar that Diddy did change it up? Because I think he has a valid point with that. I think he has a valid point. So let's move on.